had a first down.
This is as formidable defense as there is across the entire league.
On effect, pressure coming. Purdy, deck, floating in the air. It is. Is it picked? No, hit the ground.
Back's hand going forward. As a result, it was a fumble with a clear recovery by number 72 of the defense.
Favors that, but you still got a chance to clock it. Take your time and take the shot down.
Here's Mahomes rolling out on 3rd and 4. He's going to go for the, yes, he's got the marker, he's got the out of bounds to stop it. And Osai was hurt as he hit the bench, and a flag's coming in to put him 15 yards closer. Here's Butker. For 45 yards. All the way, it's good.
And I'm back. I know all of you miss me. Both of you miss me. Both of you miss me. It's interesting to see a daily sports podcast, news, narratives, takes, gambling. It was a ref show on Sunday night. Prepare yourselves for a conversation about how bad officiating is in our league, the National Football League. Yeah, not all the calls were bad. Some of them were bad. Some of them were weird. It very much felt like the NFL wanted Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, which doesn't make any sense because it's just objectively better for the NFL to have Burrow finally win the Super Bowl. So that doesn't really match up because Mahomes has a Super Bowl. They want new blood. They want more widespread obsession with the NFL. So I don't think so. I think it's just a bad officiating. Bad officiating in both games. The Eagles destroyed the Niners after the Niners. Brock Purdy got hurt. Remember, he's the third-string quarterback. He got hurt on like the 12th play of the game. I don't know, the Niners' 4th play of the game, something like that. And then Josh Johnson came in and he got hurt. So then it hurt Brock Purdy with the elbow thing. He had to go back in, and he looked fine, but he had one of those nerves things where he just got a stinger in his elbow and you can't feel your hand, so he couldn't throw the ball. So it was just sad. Also, Kyle Shanahan coached incredibly poorly. Like, I put all of that on him. In the play that he got hurt on, that Purdy got hurt on in the beginning, they had a backup tight end blocking the number 2 sack person in the league. And the backup tight end got fucking roasted, and then he broke the quarterback's elbow and caused a fumble. And then immediately when the backup comes in, the backup quarterback, that same guy, they were attempting to block him with a running back or something. Someone coming across the formation missed because he's better. And then the backup got sacked. So Kyle Shanahan, they were undisciplined play calling. The formations were stupid. Like, Kyle Shanahan just gets, in big games, nobody gets outcoached like Kyle Shanahan. Holy shit. What, you're having a backup tight end block the number 2 sack leader in the National Football League against the team that gets some of the most sacks in the history of the NFL. I think they have like top 2 or 3 all time as a team in sacks. And you're blocking their best guy with a backup tight end. Kyle Shanahan really, I don't know, he is so cocky for being good, like coaching well enough with elite Hall of Fame players to beat B-plus teams. Then he gets these big games and gets fucking embarrassed. I think no one in the NFL is more overrated than that guy. What a stupid, stupid plan. Unbelievably stupid. Just the disrespect for your opponent. Like, oh, we'll just have this guy block him. Oh, okay. Well, now your quarterback's hurt, Kyle. And it's because you thought that their best pass rusher could be blocked by a dude that nobody knows who the fuck he is. So Philly advances. They haven't played a close playoff game in a while. Their 2 games this year were blowouts for them. Last year, their game against the Bucs was kind of a blowout against them. I don't remember the year before that. They didn't make the playoffs. The year before that, I don't really remember. I think they lost a game, maybe to like the Seahawks or something in the wild card round. I specifically remember Carson Wentz wasn't able to play in a playoff game or something. He got hurt scrambling like a moron. So the Eagles are going back to the Super Bowl. Philadelphia rioted. They also got in the face of Nick Bosa, or Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa's brother, which was objectively hilarious before the game, and they riled him all the way up. So listen, this is hilarious. He literally can't take it like a man. He's like freaking out.
When did the Chargers play this week?
When did the Chargers play? That's great. It's a great smack talk. Here he goes.
Snapchatting your little butt buddies?
Are you Snapchatting your little butt buddies? Got him. Joey, God, you're good.
No, I'm just videoing you.
You fucking loser.
The guy who's not playing today. Bosa.
And then look at this. His whole family's like, uh-oh. He's getting a little riled up. He's getting a little fussy. He just wants to keep turning around and get mad. Careful, that's what they want, dude. And they win. They always do. In the Chiefs game, yeah, it's tough. I mean, I don't know what to say. It was a really close game. It was an incredibly boring game for the first half. Nothing interesting happened. Joe Burrow hit T. Higgins for a touchdown pass that was cool. Travis Kelce is elite. Patrick Mahomes, really incredibly not the same level of freak show quarterback without the mobility. And he's very clearly still limited. He's 100%. He's obviously not 100%. It doesn't seem to be like the crazy limping mess that it was last week, but it's not good. 2 weeks till the Super Bowl, so I think it'll be okay. Super beatable if he's not mobile like that, though. For sure. He definitely did not look like the same person. Chiefs have the rookie Pacheco. He looks good. Kadarius Toney got hurt. For the Bengals, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are good. Burrow, that offensive line was just so bad. Chris Jones is so good, and if you are leaking, I think they're missing 2 or 3 starters on the offensive line, then it's just not going to happen against the Chiefs. Chris Jones is too good, and they've got some other guys around there that are okay, but Chris Jones is so good that those guys all of a sudden start to play a lot better. I don't know how Spagnuolo gets his secondary to play so well. They're not that good, but they just play that well. I don't know how he does it. The Chiefs' defensive line is susceptible to getting it ran down their throat, but you have to find the guys to do it. And I was out last week, so I didn't get to make the point, and I didn't realize it last Friday or 2 Fridays ago that the Chiefs' offensive line, or the Bengals' offensive line, was significantly injured, and that's going to matter because we all remember the Penei Sewell, Jamar Chase stuff, and they can't block, and they can't run the ball, and blah, blah, blah. The people are going to get mad at the refs. I haven't reviewed every bad call. There was a missed holding on one of the scrambles that led to a touchdown. The late hit out of bounds was a good call. It was objectively a good call. That poor guy looked like he almost tore. It looked like his knee was super screwed up, hyperextended it. He's probably kicking himself today, but it's not on him. Big effort. It's just because someone screws up in clutch time doesn't mean all this. And I think he's like a rookie or a second-year player. Doesn't mean all the other guys, the veterans, didn't fuck up the entire game. It just means you made a mistake when people thought the game was on the line and you're a kid. Like, I don't know, Joe Burrow hung out in the pocket a long time. He just does that. Joe's like, hey, I'm just going to stick back here and play my game. When your offensive line sucks, you really cannot do that. I don't care how badass you think you are. So he got sacked. I don't know how many sacks the Chiefs got. I guess we could look it up, but I don't know the official metric for a fuck ton because that's what it was. Let's just count them. There's Bengals Chiefs. Let's just count the sacks. 2, 3.5, 4.5, 4.5 sacks. Is that what we have? That doesn't add up to correctness, but yeah, 5 sacks and like 4 of them were on the first drive. Like there's nothing they could do. So I'm gonna review the penalties. It seems to me that it felt rigged, but it only 1 or 2 plays were really bad. I don't know. The entire internet's freaking out. Hashtag NFLRigged is trending. They got to get this figured out because the NFL is going to lose control of the narrative if this continues to happen, especially because in the Eagles and Niners game, on the opening possession, Devontae Smith made what appeared to be a really good catch. He then got up and was like, hurry up, snap it. It turns out he didn't catch the ball at all. That was on 4th down. Kyle Shanahan, again, one of his worst coaching performances ever, was not ready to challenge the play. And when a player gets up and is like, hurry up, you're like, oh, he didn't catch it. Challenge it. You don't even have to look at the replay. Just do it. It's the first quarter. Nobody ever uses their timeouts correctly at the end of halves. That led to a touchdown, and then, if Niners fans are mad at that led to the Purdy thing and blah, blah, blah. I don't think that the Bengals and Chiefs game, you're in a situation where perhaps we don't know who the best team is. We knew who the best team was between the Niners and the Eagles. Maybe not with Trey Lance or Jimmy G, but Brock Purdy wasn't. I mean, Kyle Shanahan putting him like that was just, they just weren't ready. But this is going to be the narrative all week, so prepare for that. Everybody loves that. Speaking of refs, catch up over the weekend. LeBron James and the Celtics, he threw one of the biggest fits I've ever seen in my life. Let's watch the fit. Look at him. There he is.
and it's now overtime.
He's on his knees. He's literally on his knees.
Regulation is over. We go to the...
It's not the finals, dude. It's a regular season game. You're not even going to make the playoffs. I guess he's just like really excited to be on national TV. Like, they suck. Like, the Lakers are objectively bad. It's kind of his fault. He's mad. He thought he got fouled. The internet says he didn't get fouled. And again, it doesn't matter. They suck. It's just like wanting attention. And there are YouTube videos you can watch. He gets fouled a lot more than any other player, or he used to back when he was like MVP level. Now that he's fallen off just a tad, maybe he does get the calls. I don't know. He's got gripe overall, but on that play, I guess the internet says that it wasn't him. We've got some controversies going on ahead of the Super Bowl. The first controversy is started by the Empire State Building, which I don't know if this is a troll move. It could be an older picture. I don't know, but the Empire State Building, I have it up on the screen. You can watch on YouTube.com or on Spotify if that's where you listen. The Empire State Building is green. Why? Because fly at Eagles fly. We're going green and white in honor of the Eagles' NFC Championship victory. Is that conference loyalty from the Giants? Oh, man. What a did y'all lose a bet? Like, this is so funny. I can't. New York City is a terrible sports city. Wow. It's green for their rivals just because they're going to the Super Bowl? There must be. I wonder if there's a Philadelphian that works for this organization. And I don't know. I have not confirmed that it was actually green. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. There's another controversy happening right now. Jalen Hurts won a national championship or two with Alabama. I know that he had a game-winning drive against Clemson, but then Deshaun Watson had a better game-winning drive, and then he was benched at halftime against Georgia. Tua Tagovailoa comes in at halftime and leads the Tide to a championship, and then Jalen Hurts is the backup, and then he comes in and leads the Tide to a championship himself in the SEC championship. But they benched him. He then transferred to Oklahoma. Right now, the fight is which college gets to claim Jalen Hurts. And here's Alabama, Jalen Hurts, NFC champion. And I'll be honest with you, I think they both do. There was no bad blood. Like, Jalen wasn't the starter. He didn't deserve to be. Tua was better. He transferred to Oklahoma, where he played really well and was a Heisman finalist. I don't think either of them. I think they both have a situation. It's not like Russell Wilson with Wisconsin and NC State, where NC State has to put their tail between their legs in shame. And where he wanted to transfer to Wisconsin, he did. And I think that his loyalty is probably to Wisconsin. I think it was about, if I remember, it was because NC State didn't want to play in football and baseball, as if either of those programs are good enough for them to pull that shit. I mean, the baseball team they were really good a year or two ago, but no, NC State's not good enough to pull that. But Bama football, Oklahoma football, those are blue bloods. They shared this guy. I don't understand the issue. But it is funny. People really care about it a lot. I don't. NFL news, there was a crazy conspiracy theory happening about Damar Hamlin. There were two versions of the conspiracy theory. So he spoke out. He gave a heartfelt message to people. I'm not going to play it. You can Google it. It's not that important. Here is the conspiracy theory that this is a body double. This is why it had to come out, that like when he was in the booth for the Bills game, it was snowing, you couldn't see his face. The theory was that he was dead. On one half of the conspiracy theory, you have people that are like, the NFL knows that people won't allow football to go on if he's dead. So they've got a body double, he died. And they had like a death certificate from Pennsylvania. The other half of the conspiracy theory was that he got vaccinated and the vaccine is killing people, and Big Pharma doesn't want people to know that the vaccine is killing people. So he had to come out. That is a real conspiracy theory that was happening. There's a real thing that people were doing. Other news, Kellen Moore is out as the Cowboys offensive coordinator, not their head coach, Mike McCarthy. So Jerry Jones is just like, yeah, whatever, we'll just keep going, even though Kellen Moore this time last year was like a hot head coaching name, and people thought just fire Mike McCarthy and put Kellen Moore in charge. So the Cowboys are a mess. That's great. The Packers are believed to be moving on from Aaron Rodgers. That seems to be where all of this is trending. We'll see. Other storylines. Where's Aaron Rodgers going to go? Eric Bieniemy was a hot head coaching name. We talked about it at length a year or two ago. He's a black offensive coordinator. Why is he not getting interviews? Why is he not getting these head coaching jobs? He had some pretty shitty things that happened in Colorado. Like, I don't think it was anything crazy. I think it was borderline illegal. I don't remember. I don't want to allege anything. But that was 10, 15 years ago. I think he's probably a completely different person now. But for whatever reason, people don't want to hire him as a head coach, which is strange. Reed guys often get head coaching opportunities. However, I also think it's possible that Andy Reid is just so in charge of the offense that these owners and things interview him and they're like, yeah, you don't really know. It's mostly Reid. So then now I say all this to say that he's getting requests to interview for other offensive coordinator positions, essentially lateral moves. And I think it's an interesting opportunity for him because you can get out from the shadow of Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, which is fair enough. If as a general manager, you're like, this guy, he seems like a great offensive mind, but he's also, quote unquote, coordinating Patrick Mahomes with Andy Reid. So, I mean, what does he really know? They saw Joe Lombardi coordinating Drew Brees with Sean Payton. It was probably Sean Payton and Drew Brees, would be my guess. I don't really know. So we're going to be dealing with that. The Panthers hired Frank Reich, the fired head coach from the Colts. Frank was a great coach. The Colts, this is a sign from the market that the Colts, everybody thinks the Colts were the problem, and we've been on that for months. You're welcome. And that the Panthers are ready to do that. We got lots of draft talk going on. Lots of draft talk coming up, and so it'll be pretty exciting. Thanks for welcoming me back, and for those of you that hung out, that's pretty cool. Dak Prescott's girlfriend dumped him before his game that he lost to, I forget who they lost to, but it doesn't really matter. His girlfriend dumped him, and the organization threw him under the bus. They said it was his fault. I don't think it was. I think the Niners are just a little bit better team. I think his head coach is a nincompoop, and I think that they're just not building the team correctly. And also, when you pay a quarterback, it's hard to stay good at other positions. Final four quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts is the 1,000th highest paid player in the NFL. Joe Burrow is on a rookie contract. Brock Purdy, Trey Lance, and Jimmy Garoppolo combined make less money than Dak Prescott. The only rich quarterback in the Final Four this weekend is who many consider to be the most talented of all time in Patrick Mahomes. So either you have Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, or you should consider going cheap at quarterback. That seems to be my situation. We got 2 weeks of Super Bowl preview. The Pro Bowl preview is coming up. NBA trade deadline is about a week away. The NHL trade deadline is a couple weeks away. Everyone hates Tony Romo. Plenty to talk about. # NFLRigged. Back and better than ever tomorrow. See you then.